There is a remarkably persistent myth in the restaurant industry. It's the idea that a brilliant chef, a beautiful dining room, and a great location are all you need to build a thriving business. But the math tells a very different story. The food and beverage sector has a notoriously high failure rate, mostly because serving excellent food does not automatically equal running a scalable company. A chef's pure culinary vision can actually bleed money out of a restaurant within weeks if it lacks rigid operational infrastructure. Hidden traps like slightly inaccurate portion controls or a leaky supply chain will quietly erase a month's worth of revenue. To survive those traps, top-tier restaurants rely on an invisible architecture behind the scenes. They bring in specialized F&B consultancies to build out the business before the kitchen ever opens. This operational slide introduces Cloud9, or C9. Led by principal consultant Prabhu R.S., they operate as the architects of this precise end-to-end structural support, bringing over 2 decades of industry leadership to the table. Looking at their track record, we can see the footprint of that methodology. They have developed and optimized over 34 premier food and beverage ventures across key regional hubs in South and Central India. The dividing line between a passionate chef and a profitable business owner is exactly this, the invisible operational architecture holding the entire enterprise together. True financial success in a restaurant is engineered mathematically long before a single stove is turned on. This strategy document from C9 breaks down the first major survival system, menu engineering. Scientific food costing treats every ingredient as a financial variable. It optimizes pricing strategies and enforces exact portion controls to mathematically guarantee a reliable profit margin on every order. But internal math requires external protection. C9 secures that margin through strict vendor management, streamlining raw material procurement and locking down competitive supplier contracts. When you combine exact internal costing with rigid external vendor contracts, you create a financial shield around the theoretical profit of a single dish. It locks in the math. Calculated financial margins dictate industry survival. High sales volume only generates wealth if every bite has been engineered for a specific return. Once you have the math, you face the logistical challenge of scale. How do you guarantee a delicate pastry tastes exactly the same in Goa as it does in Chennai? The answer relies on commercial food science and technical bakery solutions. C9 utilizes rigorous new product development testing and creates extended shelf life formulations to ensure complete product stability. C9 applies functional bakery improvers and specific additives to manage the physical stress of mass transport. This ensures the product maintains its structural integrity and taste profile until it reaches the customer. But the science requires enforcement. This panel shows how C9 integrates tailored point-of-sale software and creates strict, standardized standard operating procedure manuals to automate the daily workflow for the staff. Reliable multi-location replication stems from a rigorous, automated blend of chemistry and synchronized kitchen-to-table workflows. Because this formula is built on operational logic rather than a specific recipe, it adapts easily to entirely different environments. Looking at their project roster, C9 successfully applied these exact systems to high-end, specialized environments like the North Indian fine dining concept New Moti Mahal. They utilized the same foundational logic for high-speed specialty retail models like the Jigar Rose Lassi Bar in Chennai, and the scale can escalate drastically. In 2024, they engineered the B-Square Kitchen, functioning as a massive industrial central facility. Whether they are designing a quiet cafe counter or a high-volume bulk cooking facility, the underlying architecture, the return on investment auditing, the ergonomic line arrangements remains identical. True scalability requires mastering the micro-logistics of a single cup of coffee, just as flawlessly as you master the macro-logistics of an industrial central commissary. A modern, scalable food and beverage venture is essentially a high-efficiency manufacturing plant. It just happens to be disguised as a welcoming dining room. Enduring leadership in this industry doesn't come from the plate alone. It comes from the invisible support holding it up, the food licensing compliance, the talent recruitment, and the financial audits. Cloud9 stands as the definitive partner equipped to handle all of it, transitioning fragile culinary concepts into ironclad business realities. If you are ready to create, launch, or scale your next food and beverage venture with absolute precision, you need the right architects. Partner with Cloud9 F&B Consultancy. Reach out directly to Principal Consultant Prabhu RS and start building your blueprint today.